Hi everyone, Gary Colesill here, and we're very fortunate today to have Doug McGuirk with us. Doug is a business strategist, motivational speaker. He's got many talents. He's a best-selling published author. He's a Grammy Award winner, and he's a former national trainer for the great Tony Robbins. So I think you're going to like what he's got to say today. Some interesting stuff. Grab a pen, grab some paper, make some notes, and let's introduce Doug. Doug, you have the floor. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Gary. All right. So, welcome, everyone. And thank you so much for showing up because you are investing your most valuable asset, and that is your time. And I don't take that lightly. So, we will go hard and fast. We will get to the point because I don't know about you, but sometimes these webinars, these digital experiences, these virtual experiences are, while convenient, may not be the most effective. And I don't know if you found that in your practices and your business and as you're growing your business or communicating. I wonder, and just type a yes or a no if you prefer in-person experiences. Yes or no? Which you prefer? Yes, I prefer in-person experiences, or no, I prefer the virtual experience. And what's the most effective? And it's more of a curiosity thing that may or may not have relevance in our conversation. So as we do that, I'll take note on that, and Gary will be focusing as well, so I can serve you to the deepest and highest level. And the conversation we're going to be having is about how do we connect even more powerfully with our clients, and why would that be important? All right, if you notice here, it says leveraging our customer appreciation to catapult your practice to new heights. Because the truth is, if we were to take a step back and look at how we build our business, where do we get the most bang for our buck, as it were? Where do we have the most efficacy? And I've been in this business of marketing and growing businesses and working with my clients who end up becoming great, actually, friends over time, don't they? Because the truth is, the most valuable lead you and I can get is a warm lead. True or true? Right, type, if you haven't gotten to the virtual or not, but let's, if you love warm leads, someone refers you, makes a connection for you that they're able to drop a name, type a 1 or a Y in the chat window to just acknowledge, like, yeah, you know what, I much prefer warm leads than cold ones, in the shotgun approach. So beautiful. So the truth is our most valuable resource is us communicating with our already established clients, because we're already doing so great with them. We want to pay it forward. So how do we do that? Well, we can elevate that with some transformative experiences by creating these unique breakthrough activities for an unforgettable impact. Now, why is that true? Well, our most valuable resource is our client base and our strategic partners. Don't we have other referral partners, other people that we work with, other organizations, other companies that we add value to, and then in turn, they send it back? Now, in today's competitive market, the truth is we must, it's not a should, it's not a, well, that would be a good idea. In order for you and I to stand out, to stand above our competitors, we must nurture and deepen our current relationships, don't we? So there's that old adage, people do business with people they like and trust, don't they? In order, and a gift card too, absolutely. All right, so what we want to do is create an even more profound experience, a more profound experience and relationship with our clients. Now, why is this important? Well, what happens is our clients will feel valued, and not just as revenue sources, but really partners in our success. How can we let them feel that they are contributing to our growth, to our success? And the more successful we are, obviously, in turn, that gives them more confidence to come to us in the future to refer us. The other reason is it builds loyalty, builds trust, and this is going to help us differentiate ourselves from other law firms in such a competitive market. Now, I know that you and I have seen, and you've probably gone out and done some incredible marketing where you're doing the banner ads and you're doing the billboards. You're probably doing email marketing, Instagram, TikTok, a variety of ways to create exposure. And then what we want to do is create appreciation, right? We want them to know that they go, you appreciate me. And that leads to a stronger relationship with our clients. And then, of course, that will increase the likelihood of repeat business. And to that end, to referrals, right? The gold. There's gold in Nair Hills, in them Nair Hills. Now, I'll back up a little bit. And not that Gary had shared my pedigree, my history, and one of the gifts and blessings I had was working with Tony Robbins. I'm trained by Tony. I'm trained by the people who trained Tony in personal and professional development. And one of the things that he said to me when I left to move on my next career was actually in the drug and alcohol treatment space, where I was the VP of training and development, and I was growing that company. We grew it from 1 to 3. And I don't know if you know this, how competitive the treatment space is. But this hit me like a brick truck when I left for 2 reasons: the brilliance and then the way he shared. So I share with Tony this opportunity that I have. And he's like, okay, well, yeah, obviously you're going to take it. And then if you don't take it, I'm going to let you go because, fire you because I'm going to kick you out of the nest because you don't work for me forever. You did for me what I did for Jim Rohn. So if you're familiar with Tony Robbins and his history, he worked with Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn is the one who had helped Tony figure out who he became. So anyway, he says to me, he goes, all right, so I'm doing this. I'm going great. I'm going to go. And then he looks at me just dead in the eyes. And he says, okay, remember this. You are not a coach. You are not a trainer. You are not a speaker. And you are not an author. And I'm thinking to myself, Tony, you're killing me. Like, what have I been doing for the last 4 years? That's all I've been doing for you. And he goes, remember this. You are a marketer of your coaching, of your speaking, of your training, of your books. Now, why is this important? As I'm sharing with you, what I'd like you to sort of wrap your head around is whatever your career is, whether it's an attorney or it's working with the company, whatever your role is, that's not who you are. It's not what you do. You're a marketer of that, because if no one knows what you do and how well you do it, then no one's going to be able to hire you. So our best marketing tool are our current customers or past customers, so that they can share how awesome we have been, how we've served, how we've added value to their life. So with that being said, here's some stats around it. So PwC, it's a firm that does all these surveys. They found that firms that excel in client experience can exceed the average annual profit margins by up to 26%, which is an astounding number. Well, there it is. Yeah. LexisNexis shared that 68% of clients leave because they perceive that you are indifferent to them. If they feel like, we're just a number, we are not going to be able to feel like I'm special. I'm just a dollar sign to you. So the more we can do to create that perception that they are valued because they're important to us, the more they're going to feel compelled to create more business in our direction. And then lastly, the Harvard Business Review found that increasing your customer retention rates by 5% increases profits by 25 to 95%. So if we can actually also create more retention it creates incredible value. So that personal touch, what that does is it creates that personal acknowledgement. So what are some other ways we could do that? Well, we do thank you notes, right? And if you're interested, you can follow up with us later about other strategies to automate those notes. Imagine that. Imagine if you didn't have to think about it, but every year your client got a letter or an email or a present, or not an email, a card, an actual card that says, "Hey, thank you. How are you? Congratulations. Happy birthday. Merry Christmas. Whatever. Happy holidays." That is such a powerful, and it's you don't have to think about it if you're interested, right? Or just acknowledgement in your newsletter if you're celebrating one of their successes or something that happened. It makes the clients feel special, right? We want to talk about with our clients like some of the celebrations of milestones. Let them know that we have been thinking about them, that we're aware of what's going on, and beyond just something that happened with them professionally. What if we had more information about them personally? By being more engaged, what happens as well is we get to get feedback. We're then able to find out what's going on with them. How did we do? How did we serve them? And be able to find a way to understand some of their other deeper problems and add value. By creating client-centric events, an experience that brings them in. And, I'm sure you've seen things like this, whatever your religion is, it doesn't matter. We see different organizations having those weekend fairs and a way for them all to come together and celebrate and share and do some charity. But the church, then when they do that, it helps the parish feel like, oh, you guys care about us. You're not just looking for handouts. You're actually giving back to the community, which creates that opportunity to share, hey, what are some maybe charities and events that we could also contribute to that are important to our clients, to our community. And these are just things to think about, right? This is about beyond the transactions. This is about creating a philosophy around this environment to be able to build stronger relationships with our clients. It's also a way to create value add opportunities, such as, let's say you have a new system, a new offering. The more we're in communication with them, the more we can add to this and say, hey, here's a new service we're offering, or here's a new product. Now, why is this important? Because the more opportunities you and I have to communicate with our clients, that it doesn't feel like an ask. Because let's back up a little bit. We know, we can agree that asking for referrals can be awkward, especially if we haven't spoken to our clients for a while. There's that awkward conversation. Hey, how you doing? What's new? Right? But we don't want to be saying like, oh, by the way, just checking in. Oh, do you have anybody for us? So we don't ask. And here's some interesting stats. And I know if you're practicing attorneys, you may not think of yourself as salespeople per se, but if you want to grow your business, you got to sell your business. You got to market your business. That's your primary goal in order to get to that next level, is bring in a book of business. And the best way to do that is through referrals, but then asking for the referrals does seem offer. But here's another interesting stat. Something like 10% actually ask for the sale or follow up. So what if you and I were able to powerfully communicate with our clients without an ask, but with a give? The law of reciprocity kicks in. If you're familiar with BNI, givers gain. The other thing, the opportunity from doing things like this is you create social proof, right? Now you could have them be sending out, oh, I just received such and such, or I had this experience, and it gives a way to frame our communication. So why then have an event? Why bother taking the time to put in the effort to bring clients and strategic partners in to have an event? Well, the event is designed to express gratitude, right? We want to recognize the loyalty of our clients and pay them back, our prospects and our partners. It's also a proactive approach to deepen our existing relationships and foster new connections. And what's really powerful, I don't know about you, about if you network a lot. I'm out networking all the time. And it's really a powerful way to learn about people and what their needs are, and then be able to pay it forward by understanding what they need. And I am like brought on many people, just they want me to be their wingman at events because they know I'm going to I'm going to introduce them to the people I meet at these networking events. So it's an opportunity as well for firms to showcase their client-centric culture and their commitment to service excellence, to add value. Now, let's kind of go a little bit deeper under the hood, right? Because here's the truth. Statistics show that emotionally engaged clients are more likely to be loyal and provide referrals, directly impacting the growth of the firm. Excuse me, networking among clients can lead to peer recommendations, right? So when we're building relationships, we strengthen the bond with our clients beyond transactions, and we nurture a community that values trust and mutual respect, right? So we're a way to build and nurture those relationships. It's also an opportunity for us to promote other opportunities. Here are some other things we offer, and it doesn't feel like we're doing this email blast and it's just like, digital diarrhea. We get our people in the environment, and then we have a person-to-person conversation. Networking, so powerful, right? This is a way we can now facilitate interactions among our clients. Can you imagine how powerfully you would be in your clients' minds if they came to an event that you created and their business grew simply because you created a space for them to network and cross-pollinate those networks? So what it does is it creates these opportunities. I'll share a quick story. The other day, one of the companies I consult with, uh, I had suggested something like this, and he kind of eased his way in. I just want to share the power of this. So we just had a networking lunch, and I brought in some of my powerful people, and he brought in some of his, and they loved it. And as soon as it was over, when he left, when it was over, he left. Everyone loved it. He calls me up. He goes, "Hey, can you hook me up with the title guy who sat next to me? I didn't get his information. I want to send him business. I have some real estate deals going on right now, and I want him to do the title work." And then today, I was at another event with him, and he recommended him to another mutual friend of ours that we're going to this event together. So the power is so incredible. And the truth is, emotional engagement is the key. If you were to look at some basic marketing, like marketing 101, the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl, what's the cost? Anyone know how much it costs for 30 seconds? It's like millions for 30 seconds. Now, here's the truth. Are they doing it because they get a wide audience only? Or is it also because the emotional engagement? They're watching the Super Bowl. They're with their friends and family. They're having a grand old time. They're feeling great. So what are they doing? They're capturing the client or the prospect feeling great. So they're capturing feeling great. Here's my product. Feeling great. Here's my product. Feeling great. Here's my product. So now every time they see that product, they're walking down the aisles or what have you, all of a sudden they start feeling the emotion that they felt when they saw that commercial, because everyone's waiting for the commercials. The other reason why another thing to look at is endorsements, celebrity endorsements. Again, why do they pay celebrities so much money to just put their name on the product or do a commercial? Because the emotional connection to that celebrity is what that company is paying for. They want every time that person thinks about their product connected to the celebrity they feel great about, they go, "Oh, I feel great. I want to buy this. I want to participate. I want to be part of it." So what if you became the celebrity? What if every time they thought of you, they had the feels, they felt great? You don't have to borrow others' celebrity status. You can create it for yourself by going deep into our relationships. It ensures that when we ensure they have a positive, memorable experience with the firm's brand, that's going to elevate not only into client retention, but that word of mouth referral. They'd be like, oh, this was amazing. Not only did they, serve us so well, they stayed in touch with us and they brought us to this great event. I got to meet these great people and I was able to then grow my business, which was not even part of the reason why I hired the firm in the first place. So it's food for thought. Because in a world of modernity, we greatly benefit from human connection. Here we are on this Zoom call, and there's not as much of a connection as it would be if we were sitting down face to face or if we were having a conversation one-on-one or one-to-many with a group and creating an environment, right? So we must deepen our relationships. It's so important for you and I to do that. And it also helps us raise brand awareness. Now, how does it do that? Well, we get a brand visibility lift. Now you can reach out with all these cool things and you could partner. So now you can cross pollinate. So one of the things that we do is we will talk to a company and say, who are some of your strategic partners that would like to sponsor? So now they get the same benefit as you by being part of the sponsorship, deepening their relationships. And now everybody starts to have a reason to post information, to put it out there in their newsletter, to send out in those emails and to add value. And it's not just an ask for anything other than, hey, would you like to participate in this groundbreaking event? We could improve our reputation. Sometimes things may go a little awry. So this is a way to do some form of elevation of whatever our perception is. It becomes a brand amplifier because now you've given the customer an experience that they now are going to share and talk about. And we'll talk about why they're going to be sharing it. And then networking opportunities are so powerful, as we shared. And then, of course, media engagement, it gives you another reason to share. And when you see what we offer as an option, look, you could do this on your own. If this would be crazy not to if you're not doing it already, but we're going to show you a way to even take it to a whole nother level. But the truth is that when you have more things to put on whatever your socials, at LinkedIn or Facebook, Instagram, whatever that is, it gives you more things to share that it doesn't feel like, oh, what am I going to do next? What new information am I going to put out next? Now, here's a little bit of code alert. We won't dive into this. I would say take a screenshot of this if you like digging in, but we'll just say only 25% of employees consider themselves happy with current advancement and opportunities available. Now, why is that important? When you bring your staff to these events, they feel part of it. Now, this is all mostly about employees, and I share that because the most valuable customers you have besides your external customers are your internal customers. So when you have a customer appreciation event and you bring in the rest of your office, those are the people who are on the front lines. Those are the people who may be talking to the clients more than you do. They're the ones who might be fielding those calls. They're the ones who are having your back. So when you also add them to these customer appreciation events, because customers are not just our external customers, they're also our internal customers. So the better we treat everybody, the more effective we're going to be in delivering our products or services and growing our relationships. Because service, promotion, and cross referrals, it's like a missing piece to the puzzle. It's vital, yet sometimes overlooked. Man, if we could add even more value and we find ways to do that. So these events can be a showcase to show, hey, here are all these new services, or maybe you've partnered with somebody, you're growing, and the clients don't know that maybe you've added some other value added opportunity. I work with lots of companies that happens. They may buy another company and they don't know how to share that experience with their customers without it feeling like, oh, here's a sales opportunity. It gives us an opportunity to network within the organization where they can now cross-pollinate inside all the internal customers. Maybe they work remotely and is an opportunity to bring them all together in this crazy hybrid world. So these are things to think about. These are just asking you to kind of go, ooh, this might be something to try on. And again, you can take advantage of how we can help you, and I'll share with you what that would look like, and find a way to do it yourself. So, what would that look like? If you were to decide to say, you know what, I get this, Doug, I get what you're putting down. Gary, thank you for putting this together. What would that look like? Well, here's the fun. If you're seeing some experiences here, we're going to personalize it. So how do we do that? We're going to customize it for you. We'll have a conversation, and I'll want to know like what your clients' challenges are. How could we add value? Now, here's what I found. One of the most valuable and easy concepts for our clients to really understand is in this crazy world is really about emotional mastery. Right? If you think about, if we had a car and money was no object, you could have any gas powered car on the planet. What would you get? And most people share things like Ferrari or Bugatti or Lamborghini or things of that nature. And then my question is, well, let's say you need gas. You're pretty empty. You have a few miles left. You got to get to your next destination. And right in front of you, super conveniently, there is a gas station, but it's like 30-year-old station with gas is 30 years old. And it's got that cha-ching, 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 right? Would you put that gas in your car? It's been sitting for 30 years in your supercar. And the answer is 99.9% of the time, they would say, no, I would never put that on. What's my other choice? I said, well, a mile or two away. It's a little inconvenient, and you won't be late, but it's gonna put some pressure on, and it'll be just inconvenient. But it has the 94 octane, the super pure gas. Which gas would you put in? And as I said, 99.9% of the time, they put in the super fuel. Well, that's what you and I use as emotional fuel. Our emotions are like the gas we put in our supercar. So if you and I were to make decisions out of anger, frustration, stress, resignation, depression, anxiety, if we were to make decisions from those states, well, those results are usually pretty bad. The decisions are pretty bad. The actions are usually pretty bad. So for your clients, we want to show that same thing. Now, if you and I were to make decisions from more empowering states, the 94 octane would be things like confidence, gratitude, joy, peace, certainty, all these more powerful, empowering resources. That's like putting the super fuel in, and we make better decisions. We take better actions. So we want our clients, and here's the method to the madness, we want our clients to have feelings like gratitude, confidence, joy, love, adventure, freedom, all of these great experiences behind us, like attached to us, not great. Right. So this is a really valuable and powerful way to do it. So usually what happens is the clients want something around that. I have and I'll share with you in a minute, like a vast training library, everything from sales training to leadership development to customer service, negotiation, all of those. But I'll be honest with you, none of those are going to be effective unless we're in the right state. If you were to come into any of my trainings and you're like, I don't want to be here. Well, that's the emotion that would be attached to the learning, and then we wouldn't get as great of a result as we could. It also creates a dynamic networking experience. So we do some cool networking activities and celebrate successes and find ways to just make everyone again feel amazing and grow and nurture and really create even more powerful relationships. We foster these powerful relationships. And it's also by creating an opportunity for vulnerability. So what's cool about doing something like this is, could you imagine like having your clients, your customers, their families, maybe their strategic partners, your internal customers. Imagine you shared an experience where you walked over broken glass. with your bare feet, or did a fire walk like Tony was so famous for, or you broke an arrow with your neck, or broke a board with your hand, or ate fire, and you felt that power of overcoming that fear. You all have the opportunity to feel a little bit vulnerable, and it levels the playing field. And the bonds that are created when this happens are so powerful. They talk about these events forever. When we do these, especially the board break, they take home the broken board and they wrote on it. So there's a lot of stuff that they wrote on it. And this is a great opportunity for you to then have an anchor. Not get into the technical terms about stuff, but they have a reminder. They'll see the board in their house and be so proud. They'll come home and show their family, like, look what I did. I broke this board. And then what's on the board are their hopes or dreams, what they want to accomplish. And a lot of times we've helped them accomplish them, and we will help them in the future. So again, stuff that just makes a huge difference. So we customize it. We will tailor it to reflect your firm's unique culture. What's special about you? This is all about you. This is not the Doug show. This is your firm's show. This is your company's show. Our goal is to make sure that you are celebrated, that you are the spotlight, and that all the messaging is attached to the value you bring. So we're going to work on it together. I'll help you with some stuff. Obviously, I can't do everything, so I will, though, coach you on. If you've never done an event before, I'll coach you on that, and we'll coach you on that, how to procure the room, how to, we'll make it so easy for you if you haven't done it before. And everything is about your vision. What we do is craft an unforgettable occasion, an unforgettable experience. Good or good? So real quick, I'll just share with you, I worked with the Director of Marketing and Sales of the National Ethics Bureau, and he shared, Doug had me fill a room with my employees, and in under 1 hour, he delivered me back my team. 2 weeks later, my team is still thanking me for finding him. This was a turnkey solution for team building, motivation, high energy output, and formerly less than positive employees. I came in, and he already shared with me that they were just down, they were struggling, they were just challenged with the economy, with the market. Everything was just having all these challenges. And then, of course, I got a great recommendation. So thanks to that. Then Doug is an outstanding leadership trainer with an exceptional gift for creating an engaging presentation. His style is energetic and passionate, a superb approach in coaching others to take action. That's my goal, is to help them take action. Why is that important? One of the actions that we also embed in there is bringing referrals, that we're looking to show how we're all in this together and the benefits of that. So I share practical, realistic implementation strategies and encourages active participation from the audience. And yes, we are doing a glass walk, a board break, a fire walk is absolutely active participation. And this is what's going to separate you as well, because I say no other companies because I work with plenty, but that's a differentiator. That's something that so many companies don't do. As a matter of fact, oftentimes what will happen when I have a conversation is they'll say, oh, well, yeah, of course we do customer appreciation events. We do them once a year. We rent out a hall. We have an open bar. We give them some great food, and then we'll have someone talk about whatever, something. And when I share these conversations, light bulbs go off. And like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I mean, it's so boring just having someone just share this whole thing, about, some weird, whatever, this new technology, whatever. And there's a time and place for that. And I'm not saying you don't do it at these events. I'm saying when you add this, game changer. And then the other thing that happens is when we do this event, and they're feeling great, they're feeling on top of the world, they're feeling unstoppable, and you're so attached to it, that's when you come up and you take a few minutes to share about you, your firm, and the things you want them to walk away with. And I'll even coach you on that so you can not take the air out of the room, but even enhance it even more. So with that being said, I'll just share with you quickly some of my clients, they're not all of them, but here's, quite a few. It's a wide gamut, right? You got Honeywell, Pfizer. We got the, John Deere. The Army should be here. Worked with the Army. I've worked with the Air Force. Just a wide variety of companies. You can, if you need to see that screenshot, Delta. I love flying Delta as well. So let's just take a moment and imagine for a moment having an event, bringing in your customers, bringing in your internal customers, strategic partners, and then having this incredible event. Maybe it's half a day where they come in, they even maybe bring their families and you get everyone involved. And you get to know them on a deep level. You go deep, not just wide. And you walk over glass together, or you break a board, you break an arrow. There's introspection, there's a depth. It shows you truly care. They're sharing with you what they want to accomplish, and you're finding the ways on how to help them. Maybe your strategic partners are going, oh my gosh, this is such a powerful thing. We could do so much more business together because you get it. Now we're creating these deep relationships because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. We create an even more compelling, an engaging environment. And then you get up there and you're able to share new products, new services, new opportunities, get their buy-in and say, hey, how's it going? Maybe some of them could even share how they helped you. If you have other prospects in the room, maybe you could celebrate one of the cases that you helped one of your clients to do, and people go, oh, they're so amazing, and they got these incredible results, and more importantly, we're able to have this incredible experience. I didn't even realize I got to meet so I never saw them in person, but I spoke to them on the phone so many times. It was so great to meet them. They were so helpful. I was able to thank them and give them a hug and say, wow, this was such an incredible case, this incredible experience. And imagine how much your company will grow, how much your firm will expand. And the numbers to prove it. The stats prove it. You can look them up yourself. So then your question might be, well, Doug, that sounds great. Gary, sounds great. What do I do? What's the next step? Well, it's book a call. Book a call. You could use that QR code, and that will get you my Calendly link. And if you want to find out how we can take your business to the next level, if you're looking to create that dynamic, engaged, deep relationship with your clients and beyond, so you could tap into their referrals, tap into their desires, you could either call Gary, you just put his number up there, email him, or you could use this QR code, and that will give you a access to my link, and we can get on a collaboration call. So I didn't share this before. If you had any questions, see, we got Edwin and Miriam here. If you had any questions, what would they be? And you could go ahead and type them in if you like, or you could just book your call. And one of the questions I do sometimes get is, is it safe? Like, is that, people go, oh, it sounds a little weird, a little woo-woo-y, especially attorneys. I had lunch with an attorney yesterday, and he was a little concerned. And yes, it's absolutely safe. Everything that we do is insured, of course, but it's safe. It is more about the experience up to it than the actual breakthrough, because what happens is, and I'm gonna get you a little into the hot dog. What happens is when they finish, they cross the glass, they break the board, they break the arrow. What's so powerful is we'll hear things like, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was easier than I thought it was going to be. Now, isn't that true with everything? Isn't that true with sometimes your clients, where you're asking them to do something, maybe to take a stand, maybe try something new, to trust you? Well, this is a great experience for them to go, oh, maybe the story I'm telling myself is worse than what it's really going to be. So, food for thought. So, again, here's the call. If this is, you're looking to grow your business in this way, if you're looking to deepen your relationships, if you're looking to create a breakthrough into the next level, if your business has plateaued and it's ready to go to the next level, this is the one of the most powerful and effective strategies to go deep with your clients, to create a powerful environment and experience. So, with that being said, I thank you for your time, your most valuable resource. And Gary, it's I guess it's going to be a 50-50 shot on a raffle.
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you what I was going to do was I was going to do a short, very short, easy quiz.
Okay.
I was going to ask actually the first person that can type in to the chat box, or if they want, they can text me. Well, just type in the chat box, it's easier. Uh, the well-known motivational speaker, very well-known motivational speaker that Doug has worked with. If somebody could type in that name, they will be the person that wins the raffle, and we'll shoot them over a $25 restaurant.com gift card. Also, I did want to mention that when we wrap up, when we actually sign off here, a short survey will appear in the browser. And when it does, if you could fill that out for us, we would really appreciate it, because it helps get some feedback on these sessions, so that we can improve them every time we do them. So that's pretty much it. So I guess it's Miriam or Edwin. Do you
Should
know?
we have a countdown timer?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we've got one, have we? Maybe we have.
No, we could just count down.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Do you want to do it?
Well, yeah, we could count down. Is you got, because I mean, we can't sit here. We don't want to waste their time either.
Can't see it. Definitely waiting. No.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You must know, if you've been in any way listening, his name was mentioned several times. What was the name of the very famous motivational speaker that Doug worked with? And maybe that was too hard. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe. Doug, do you know the
maybe
answer?
This is going on in the background.
Maybe you'll win it. Maybe you'll win
it. Was it Zig Ziglar?
Zig Ziglar.
No. Yes, in fact, it was Jim Rohn. Tony Robbins.
There you go. So I guess nobody gets the gift card. Oh, well, if you could do us a favor anyway and fill out the survey at the end, that would be very much appreciated. And thank you very much, Doug. That was great. I was going to ask you a quick question, actually.
Yeah, of course.
If you wanted to elaborate a little bit on the thank you cards.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that would be another thing to reach out to me on, because I don't have a link prepared. But it's basically, it's a system that, and I used this when I was with Tony, and a lot of real estate people, a lot of companies use this very effectively. So it's a CRM, like you would have any other CRM, but it has access to, millions of greeting cards. But more importantly, a couple things. You can create your own in your own handwriting if you wanted to. So what I did, and I shared this with real estate and the clients, were, hey, when someone buys a house, take a picture with them on, the day they move in, or at the closing, when they get the keys or whatever. Then on the year anniversary from the date of the closing, they get a card automatically. You don't have to think about it. You come home, you set it up, and then it does it automatically. A year later, congratulating them and wishing them luck, and all that. And then, of course, in there, the lovely language of, hey, the greatest, something along the greatest compliment you could ever give me is a referral, da da da. But you put them in state. You go, oh, they're feeling great. Oh, that's right. Wow, so great moving in. And then you're the person who's attached to it. Then the other cool thing with this is you could send gifts. You could send Amazon gift cards, Starbucks gift cards. You could send books. You could send chocolates, teddy bears, flowers, like so many things in the catalog of stuff to just send. So it's not just a card. You could send a coffee mug. You could send, a pen. It's like there's no limit to what, I mean, I'm sure there's a limit, but imagine having access to Amazon essentially. I mean, it's not like you're going to send a hot tub, but like small things, within reason, chocolate or cookies or what have you, and you could automatically send it on holidays, on birthdays, on whatever powerful date, or just randomly. Like, hey, just checking in. There's a guy, Joe Girard, who did this. He was one of the most prolific salespeople in cars.
I worked with him.
Yeah. Oh, you worked with him, right?
So I actually promoted a seminar for him, and
did he talk about that?
Yeah.
Did he talk about how he hand wrote all his
Yes.
cards?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
So this is
Yeah.
just, you don't have to handwrite it. You automate it. But that was his strategy. So I'm just taking what that concept and going, wow, instead of just, sending them a card and do that. And if you were interested in that line, that service, we're happy to help you out. But like, can you imagine getting everyone together and the depth of that? It's not just a reminder or like a little picture or a card or a box of chocolate. It's this experience that people talk about for years. I have people I've worked with a decade or more ago that still talk about that experience, that day that we did that we did the glass walk or the board break or the, whatever processes that we were doing that created that opportunity to connect on such a deep level. So it's such a powerful way to give back and create a wonderful deep relationship. And then you add the cards on top of it. That's the icing, but you got to put the cake there first, right? We want to do that is actually build the depth and then remind them of the depth.
Excellent. Great stuff. Appreciate it, Doug.
You got it.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much for your time today. And thank you, everyone, for being here today as well. If you have any questions, you have Doug's QR code there. If you want to book a consultation with Doug, there you go. And in the chat there, you have my number as well. So feel free to give me a call if you have any questions, 888-894-2929. So thanks again, and we hope to see you again soon.
All righty, right on. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Edwin. Much appreciated. Thank you for being here today.